guess this is part of the public work session. McDonald's application in front of us. Got about 15 minutes worth of time to kind of touch base. If you guys can give us a real fast update, and then we'll talk about what we need to do moving forward. Any updates to the site plan, what your needs are, justification, etc.
Okay. So we resubmitted the site plan addressing the town staff review comments. We did remove the connection to Green Speedway, so that is no longer on the table. But the owner operator does still want to pursue the side-by-side drive-through. One of the comments was to show a comparison of vehicle stacking proposed versus existing, which we have provided. Really what that shows is that with the same amount of cars with the side-by-side drive-through, we actually block less parking spaces than we would block today with the same number. And then there was the comment about the reasoning that we shifted the parking spaces to the north, understanding that appears to require a variance, was that when those cars are in the drive-through today, there really is not sufficient area for somebody on that side to be able to back out if there was cars stacked in the drive-through lane. And then there was a comment about number of parking spaces. So just as time goes on, drive-through businesses, the drive-through portion of the business continues to increase. So with the number of parking spaces that we're at, McDonald's is still more than comfortable with that number, you know, based on what they're seeing for the drive-through volumes, and thus the reason we're looking to add, you know, the second drive-through lane, second order point. And then we provided the associated sign details, which are the same signs, you know, menu board and pre-browse board that are there today. We would just be adding a second one of each one of those. So in a nutshell, that's really what's transpired since we met at the planning board, and sort of summarizes the submission.
Thank you. So part of the concerns I think that this board has, certainly the biggest one is just the reduction in parking. You know, I understand McDonald's being comfortable with the reduction in parking, but this board needs to look at the site as a whole, and not necessarily now, but also in the future, for reasonable development. You know, reducing from a required 70 to, I think we had a baseline of 52, you said, when that was established a number of years back, down to now 30. That's a significant reduction in there.
Understood.
Morning.
Welcome.
Hi. Do you want me to set it up
What are we setting up?
here?
What are you here for?
Sorry, 1 second.
Is meeting room B?
No.
This is meeting room B, but
Family delivery from Panera for the Tyler Technologies meeting?
Sounds like they might have double booked someone. Do you want to bring her name?
I just called the guy, he said it was up here in this room. He said it was upstairs to the right.
no, sorry.
If you don't follow me, we can figure out where they're.
Sure, sorry.
No, that's fine. Sorry about that, guys. So I think we're trying to understand the parking counts. I think we see the benefit to the double lane of drive-through.
What are you trying to do?
The owner's rep was looking to send the invite to Dave Calgrove, I guess, or somebody. So
I
we
mean,
have-
the other, and excuse me, so the other thing that happens at this McDonald's is you get big, like, rigs, right? That sort of pull up and park along the perimeter. Or, big trucks and they don't pull into parking spaces and they take up parking spaces. And there's there's no give in the site for
You're
that.
talking,
Very
you're referring to like
compact.
maybe a truck with a trailer or an RV?
Yeah, at any kind of like oversized
Okay,
truck, that I've seen up there, they'll just sort of pull along the perimeter. So those parking spaces are just, they're not real either. That's what I'm
would you say
saying,
they're not real? What do you mean by that?
because they get taken up by trucks that pull up.
Okay, well,
So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know the frequency of that. I guess it sounds like my thought is, let us go back and get in the weeds a little bit more with the owner operator. I mean, and everybody, whether it's the owner operator or the McDonald's development team, is saying, yep, we are comfortable with this. What I'm hearing is, obviously the town has some concerns with this reduction, so we've got to, establish some baseline documentation that we can provide to the town.
well, I guess, is there a suburban McDonald's operating that has this number of spaces? That is of a similar,
Sure.
traffic along Carrier Circle and so forth.
Yeah, that's a fair question. I mean, I've done McDonald's work for almost 30 years. It used to be 45 to 50 spaces, and then it was,
Sure.
40 to 45, and now we're doing new sites and we're at, 30. I mean, they'll go anywhere between 30 to 40. I mean, that's just the reality. So let me see if there's other sites that would be comparable that, we could share, and let me dig into the weeds with the owner operator to see if there's any kind of just data or anything that they could come up with. So, I mean, if they're comfortable with it, then we'll have to figure out a way to kind of document that what they're suggesting works doesn't in fact work. I mean, I don't know how to address, somebody comes in with an RV car and they park along that, somewhere's along the side blocking the parking. I'm not sure how we necessarily address that. We can give
Well,
that.
sometimes there's so much parking that it doesn't really matter,
Right.
so you're like, hey, it's overparked anyway, and whatever. It's just it's in a precarious in and out situation on Thompson Road. And I guess, board, I would say that I'm not so worried about the future use of the building. I don't know how many other uses would require a double drive-through, so it would probably be a whole reworking of the site or a different use. So,
We're being told that you no longer have access to this room.
Really?
So that's from Angela.
are you guys there?
Yeah,
Alana, we can't hear you.
you don't want to hear, you don't want to hear. So, well, let's, real brief, the 2-second thing is apparently we're getting kicked out of this room. We no longer have the meeting time, so. But I want to finish on McDonald's real quick. I think Jamie's point is great. Please provide, the comparable analysis that shows that a site of this size, with this size restaurant, double stack drive-through with this many parking spots actually works somewhere. We need to be convinced of that.
Yep.
Talk to the owner operator about the number of spots that are there, and trying to maximize as much as we can. I think the reduction is what is making us uncomfortable in there. And then I think we'll kind of have to go from there. I'm sorry that we're getting cut short and kicked out of the meeting. time, but
Understood, not a problem. Well, I think it sounds like that's, the parking is the main point here. If we can figure that out, then maybe there's a path forward there.
Okay, we're gonna try to find someplace else and get set up on a laptop or something.
yeah. But thank you. Again, I apologize. This is very unexpected. So
Not a problem.
I think you have the sentiment of the board and kind of where we need you to go from there.
Yeah, I do. Very much so. I appreciate the board's time. Have a good day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
All right, so you want to stop the recording?
Well, how do we transfer the host from there to one of our laptops?